Big Papi, is a Baseball Hall of Famer. He is going to the Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York.
Congratulations.
And he got it by the hair of his Big Papi chinny chin chin. Because it appears the voting for the Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum is broken. It feels to me totally broken. 6 members of the Baseball Writers Association of America handed in their sheet with no names checked off. That every single name that was placed on there, I don't know how many there are. I guess I shouldn't carp on the voting if I'm not completely locked in on the exact information.
Semantics,
but it seemed to be like 3 dozen names at least that were on there.
Big list.
That you don't check a single box. That there's not a single person that you think on that list that you cannot tell the story of baseball without their inclusion into enshrinement, or did not have a career that is so far and above that person's peers while he was playing, that you would just hand in the sheet, say, I don't have anybody here for you. It's absurd. It's ridiculous, because if you think that everybody on that list is not worthy of enshrinement because you feel that they cheated when they were playing, okay, then you have somewhat of a case, but I would reject that case. And I covered the sport from 96 to 2003. I was sitting on the set of SportsCenter day in, day out, when these guys with their trapezoidal heads were knocking the ball out of the park. And all of us on the set were thinking something was up, because Brady Anderson's hitting 50 home runs, and people who are, once upon a time rail thin are knocking the ball out of the park in a manner that just did not seem normal. Baseball, sitting on the set of ESPN, we were all watching it, and we all knew something was up or something was off, and we all kept on rocking in the free world. That's what we did. And I think about it all the time when I see these highlights pop back up on my Twitter feed, and I think, did I lend anything to it? I was a 26-year-old guy. I'm not going to sit there and go on the air and go, well, this guy looks weird. Honestly, like so I'm giving myself a little bit of a break. And
nobody really had any idea back then.
Dig the long ball commercials were out there too. Heather Locklear was making commercials with 2/3 of the Braves rotation.
Right. It was fun.
Okay, and right,
it's enjoyable.
I was on the set watching McGuire chase Maris with Sosa joining, and it was awesome. It was terrific. The sport was absurdly popular. Everybody was talking about it. McGuire handled his business in such a way that it was even more awesome to watch. Okay, with his son being the bat boy, his wife, who he wasn't with anymore, welcoming her and her family. Everybody was there together watching him do it. And he was class the whole way, and it was awesome. And I got to know him and got to love him. And he retired. He called. I got the call from him when he retired. And I broke the news on ESPN to say he was leaving, which is something that I think Tony La Russa still holds against me, to be honest with you. Just got the facts, Tony. That's it. And the facts right. And I asked Mark in his retirement, sit down with me, did you take performance-enhancing drugs? And he told me no to my face. We all know differently now. But we were all in on it. All of us. In on it. By watching it, knowing something's up, nobody said anything. Because everybody was doing it. And there are some that would take offense to not everybody was doing it. And those are the people that should be in the Hall of Fame. And those who are in on it shouldn't be. And I don't know how you can make that distinction. Certainly when it is a baseball Hall of Fame and museum. Put Bonds in, put Sosa in, put McGwire in, put Clemens in, put them all in. Because when everybody was doing it, or mostly everybody was doing it, they were the best at it. And how can you have these people out when they're baubles and trinkets and big moment objects of baseball? Gloves, hats, bats, balls, they're all in there. Yeah. I mean, it's not like Bonds. It's not like you walk into Cooperstown and you see nothing of Barry Bonds.
Right.
My kids haven't gone there yet. They're gonna. I'll take them there one day. You know, they go to camp in the Northeast. Maybe one year I'll come and grab them, and you know, when this scourge of Omicron's not everywhere or whatever, and we'll just do it. Maybe we'll do it anyway. I don't know when we're gonna do it, but
I've only been one time.
I'll take them. It's amazing. It's amazing. That town is amazing. Awesome. It's like incredible. A Rockwell painting coming to life.
Great.
And when the sun sets. And it just turns like red. It turns like a color red that it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It really is that of a movie. And at any rate, when they go there and they'll see Bonds' baseball and they'll see this and they'll see that, like, where's Bonds' plaque? Well, it's not here because it's punishment. That it's a consequence. And I teach my kids all the time, your actions have consequences. And their actions have a consequence that voters decided not to put them in the Baseball Hall of Fame and museum. And I keep saying that because it's a museum. Put it on their plaque. Put it on their plaque.
Bingo.
And you could say, what, they were accused of it? They were doing that? Just put it in. They did. You played baseball in the steroid era. That's it. The word steroids on there. Put it on. They did it in the steroid. What about Bonds? He was never, never failed caught, never failed. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, got it. So the guy who was so good, by the way, and him and McGwire, when he was rail thin, he still has a rookie home run record.
49.
Yeah.
Okay, and Bonds, when he was rail thin, was so amazing. And it's the damn shame that these guys then turned to it. Okay? Clemens, when he was on the Red Sox.
Amazing.
Taking on the Mets in 86.
Then his career was over and he went to Toronto and it was like,
when did he get so big?
Yeah. He threw a broken bat at Mike Piazza.
We all know. We all knew. We all know. Just put it on their plaque. Had this, had that, in the steroid era. And then leave it up to the players who get put in the Hall of Fame. I'm not showing up because I didn't do this, I didn't do that. Fine, it's on you. It's on you. We are saying you were one of the best of your generation, and you cannot tell the story of baseball without Barry Bonds. You cannot. You cannot.
No.
And the crazy thing is this, is the commissioner of the steroid era is in there. He got enshrined. But these players aren't? Huh?
Make it make sense, Rich.
And then let the players say, I'm being unfairly singled out. Well, you're enshrined. You're in. We're saying you're in. We have voted you in. And tell the writers what the criteria is. Don't just punt it all the way down to these writers, and some of whom do not have the credibility to hand in a blank sheet of paper. Come on. And I'm speaking to some, I'm so conflicted about it. I still have some McGwire stuff in my office at home. You know, I'm so conflicted about it. But I remember it was amazing. It was so much fun to watch. It was amazing. We were all looking the other way. All of us. Because why are they looking like this? Why do they look like this?
Bodybuilders.
Come on. Why does somebody who's got 8 home runs suddenly hit 50? Why does that happen that somebody who can barely get it out of the park when they hit the hanging curve and pull it down the line is now suddenly waving their bat at a ball and popping it out of the park opposite field deep into left center field. How does that happen? Come on. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.